Hey folks, this is BestInSlot. Welcome back to today's coverage of the brand new Feathered Species Pack for Jurassic World Evolution 2, releasing tomorrow for all of you at home, along with the phenomenal Update 6, and I'll have a video on that a little bit later on today. In this video, we're going to check out our teeny tiny new pterosaur, or a neurognathid, Jehelopterus. Unique, absolutely unlike any other pterosaur in the game, hoping for some really cool, cute little animations. Of course, it does also utilize the only creature in the game, as far as I can see. I'll have more info on the insectivore feeder later on today. The only one I can see that actually utilizes the insectivore feeder. So you can see it's kind of this great mechanism here. We've got this sort of rotten fruit and veg underneath, and then above that, all these teeny tiny glowing, translucent butterfly-esque creatures, and that's what our neurognathid, our Jehelopterus, is going to feed on. It won't feed on anything else. It is an obligate insectivore. So, without further ado, I do. We're going to check out its stats very quickly. We batch size of 4 to 7, some trait chances there. Appeal 71 is the lowest in the game for the pterosaurs. Needs, as you can see, just insects, open space, sand, water. No like species, dislikes the hybrids, and some base attributes there, which are actually identical in attack, defense, and dominance to the Dimorphodon, as you can see. So they're well matched with each other, even if Dimorphodon is apparently a little bit more appealing. Right, it is time for the exit animation and our introduction to these teeny little critters. Let's go. Okay, well that was adorable. First of all, really cool that we got what seems to be new music. That was a unique little exit. It's not the da-da-dum that the pterosaurs usually have. That was like a little jaunty tune, maybe a little bit more suitable for such a small critter. And there they are. That is our Jehelopterus. So let's get a good zoom in there. The fluffy little so-and-so. Fluff covering absolutely everything. Even you can see the banding here in the wings. That's got little bits of fluff on it. We've got those bat-like claws and bat-like feet there at the back. We've got a where am I? It's hard to do this when you're so where have you gone? You're over there. We've got this sort of diamond-shaped tail, the poof of diamond-shaped feathering at the back there. Actually, you see, it really looks more fluffy as opposed to feathery. Kind of like the fluffy Rex or something like that, which really suits a creature like this. We've got this big multicolored glassy sort of eyes, slightly darker on the eyelids and surrounding area. The nozzle, the snout is a little bit uncovered by fur compared to everything else. And then these are really interesting sort of speculative features. We've got these stronger tufts of feathers sort of above the eyes in the sort of eyebrow kind of region. And that is a spec feature. It's meant to be based on modern owls and stuff like that, according to the concept artist for this creature on Twitter. But it's super cute. I love the patterning here, you know, moth-like, butterfly-like, really interesting. It would have been very easy to make it more like a bat. I think this is a much more interesting direction to go in. And yeah, let's watch them flap around a little bit, I guess. We've got multiple colours. Of course, I'll show you the species viewer a little bit later on in the video so we can take a look at these colours in a little bit more detail. But yeah, you can get a really nice variety. Look at the little guy. Just a man. Just an innocent man. Looks fantastic. And what we can do, thanks to the new slow motion camera, is we can get some slow motion. Let's find one in a nice colour scheme. Oh, we've got one on our landing here. Just landed on the our new dome building. They will land and point in multiple directions. Let's get a little... There we go. Look at that. What a beaut. Got that almost cow-like pattern on the underneath as well. Yeah, slow motion. Oh, a little bit funky there, but that's okay. We're all a little bit funky sometimes. Going in for a landing. Slightly awkwardly, it must be said. And then sits down, latches on. Just hangs out. Just always looks so happy. Always looks so pleased. I really love the details on it. It really does stand out amongst all the other pterosaurs in the game, to say the least. It's going to groom itself a little bit. Nom nom. Little bite. It looks like something out of Goosebumps or something. A little scratch. Having the time of its life. I love it. Doesn't the fur look fantastic? The feathers, again, the fur shader, the feather shader is really good. Covering the entire body with the fur here, and then it's actually built into the texture of the wings. Now, no. There's not going to be too much to show for this guy. It's not going to hunt a human. It doesn't hunt a goat. I would love to see it hunt a human, by the way. If it could have pack hunting in the same way that the Compsognathus, for example, does, that would be incredible. But that's very optimistic. What we can do, however, is check out the new feeder animation. So this is the new insectivore feeder. Flies forward. Oh, jump, jump, jump. Grabs hold of something in its wings. Chomps it down. Very cool. Now, of course, we'll have to capture cam here and slow motion to get that in a little bit more detail. So let's just pause there for a sec. So, takes off from its perch at the side there. It is so small. It's barely bigger than the insects. It really is. You know, it's like the size of an apple or something. It's flapping forward, raising up. Now, this is interesting. Okay, so when they start feeding, they don't hunt these butterflies. It spawns in another extra creature that isn't usually there. And this one, actually, look at that. Doesn't it look fantastic? This one, as you can see, has a little extra detail. We've got the full body there. It's clipping a bit weirdly and stuff like that, but there's a lot more detail here than there is in the default one. It's got a full body. It's got individual segmented wings and legs and stuff like that. It looks awesome. So let's see this hopefully happen in slow motions. Oh my god. It's got hold of it. See there, you can see the wings sticking out of its mouth. Comes into land. Nom. Nom. Nom nom. This is very hard to track. Okay, it's going in. It's chasing it. It's chasing it. Went for the first bite, missed. Second bite, grabs it within its teeth. Comes in for the light. Sorry, the game is zooming me out here. It's not my choice, I promise. Yeah, it's hard to see that in too much detail. And most of it terrifies me every time. So there you can see it. Nice detail there. We've got that. It's just chasing down this little butterfly creature. Clamps down the jaws. Looks immensely pleased with itself. So the animation doesn't play out the same way every single time. Sometimes they'll miss, and then they bite it at a different location. And then they chug it down, but you can see there's a little bit sticking out there, and it's going to have to just suck down those extra little bits. See, that one, slightly different animation, missed on the first bite. Gets it on the second, though. Comes back in for the landing. I love the coloration on that one, isn't that beautiful? That little spot of blue against the brown. It's the colour we're painting our kitchen and living room. I think that's about as good as I'm ever going to get this. It's not an easy thing to do, it must be said. Go on, buddy, you can do it. It's interesting, the second time or so, when it misses on the first one, you can see it like bends its low. Oh, there we go. That was interesting. It went for like a third one. Maybe it ate two. You see there's nothing in the mouth this time. It seems there's three different animations. That one, it missed the first bite. It seemed to get on the second one. It kind of also brought its lower body forward, almost to grab hold of it. That one, it's flying away and kind of took a little snack on the way out as well. I like that a lot. Okay, so that is the feeding animation for the Jehelopterus. God, they are so small. They are so freaking small. I'm going to try to get you the drinking animation next. This is really interesting. I just said I was going to try to get the drinking animation, so I went to make sure to turn that dehydration was off. On, even. So they do dehydrate. And I thought I'd click one of them to just see. Oh, by the way, this is a good example of what the unpatterned one looks like. You can see there. It's mainly on the wings, really, where the majority of difference comes from. I think maybe the coloration on that little tuft of hair above the ears as well is probably part of it. Look at the eye coloration, though. What a beauty. See you later, buddy. But as you can see, they actually don't need to drink, interestingly enough. I wonder if that's either A, they couldn't program the animation, and I think in World you would justify it as because it's such a small creature, it gets all the water it needs from the insects and from various other creatures or from the other things it eats, right? I guess you could kind of justify it like that. I don't know about that. That's an interesting one. It is the only creature in the game that doesn't need water. That's very unusual. I really like them, though. I love that coloration on the wings. I think it's fantastic. The patterning and coloration. The whole thing is just awesome. Right, so there's one last thing we have to do then. We have to kill it. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. We don't have much choice. So let's grab ourselves a pteranodon. So I'm point out the size difference to these two. There's our Jehelopterus. There's our pteranodon. It is... it's fairly dramatic. These things are probably... maybe a third of the size of the Dimorphodon. We'll be testing that out in just a second. Unless I'm totally crazy, the Pteranodon cannot eat the Jehelopterus. It just doesn't seem to be going for it at all. That surprises me quite a bit. Maybe a little bit disappointed about that as well. I don't know why that would be the case. It seems like a fairly obvious thing for the Pteranodon to hit. I mean, look at the... It is a snack. It's just a lovely, floating, fluffy snack. You know what, folks? A third probably undersold this. Oh, sorry, I love that. A third probably undersold this quite a lot. There's our Dimorphodon. There's our Jehelopterus. It's, yeah. There you go. There's a bit of a better size comparison. By Dimorphodon, I should have meant really the smaller Dimorphodon, which is about half the size of this one, but would still kind of dwarf the Jehelopterus at the same time. You know, it's it's just so freaking tiny. Look at it. You look cutie badootie. But unless I'm crazy, Dimorphodon also incapable of hunting Jehelopterus. It's down to, you know, starving, and it keeps popping up saying it's looking for food, but it never finds it. So we're going to try the Quetzalcoatlus next. Okay, if anything can eat this tiny little guy, it's the Quetzalcoatlus. I mean, come on, that is a fish to a mosasaur right there in terms of scale. Starving. It keeps popping up with looking for food, and then it disappears quickly because clearly there's just no food present in the area for it. So that's a little bit of a shame. I'm not going to lie, you know, I would have really liked it if it could. It sounds mean, but I don't see any reason it couldn't be hunted by at least the larger pterosaurs, and it could even... I don't see why it wouldn't even play the same animation. All they need is to snap their mouths around it and eat it. You know, it would be a pretty chill thing to implement. So hopefully we get a little bit more on that in the future. It's not because I want to see you particularly murder Jehelopterus, but I think it makes them feel more like a real creature if they're in danger of being hunted. You know, if they're vulnerable, they're teeny tiny adorable things. They should feel threatened in order to make sense in the game world for me. I'm more so curious as to whether these little guys are going to be capable of breaking out in the first place. So I've set escapes onto high, I've set comfort on, I've got rid of their food. So they should break out. You know, if they're going to starve to death, pterosaurs instead will break out, you know, when their comfort is that low. I'm curious, they're so small that I think there's a chance that these things are incapable of breaking out the aviary, but we'll have to wait and see. Go on, little guy. Okay, well, they do attack the wall, at the very least. About to see that in lovely slow motion. Oh, what's going on there? Bonk. There you go. Go on, little guy. The Great Escape. That was incredible. Oh yeah, I was like, that noise and the way it just kind of dropped down was perfect. I've set this to fast speed. I'm going to let this play out a little bit and just see if any breakouts happen. I am unconvinced it's possible, so this may well be the last thing we do with them. But I'll let it roll for a little bit and see what happens. Unfortunately, folks...
These dinosaurs are hungry.
Claire, please.
Food insecurity will put these animals under stress, and that is not good for them. Or us. Trust me.
Trust you, yeah. I'm sure the Jehelopterus, in its desperate need for food, is going to break out and consume everybody. They can't seem to break out, unfortunately. They do seem to be trapped in there. But I still love them. It's a shame. There's a couple things I would like to see added. I'd like a couple more animations. I think that's kind of problem with pterosaurs in general. You know, like if we just had a social animation or something for the pterosaurs, that would be fantastic. Same for the lagoon creatures. It's not really the fault of the Jehelopterus in particular, but the little guy indeed cannot break out. Are you having a little nap? Having a little snooze, a little snozzle. So that is it for the in-game, but we're going to hop into the species viewer now and check out all the skins in a little bit more detail. So yeah, we've got the preening animation, as we saw in a game there. It kind of just nibbles and licks at itself a little bit. General flying animation, and flying a little faster animation, I suppose. That's about the only difference. It's not the biggest suite of animations, but the actual design of the creature I really do enjoy. Let's check out these skins. So let's tell you what, let's turn off the patterning first of all. So this is the blankety blank version. And let's go for these. So we've got Sonoran Desert. We've got Death Valley, the Great Sandy... Oh, I like that. The Great Sandy Desert, Champlain Valley, Salar del Huesco, Limpopo River, Killian Mountains, Svalbard. Really like that one as well. Yukon River, which I skipped accidentally. Does look a little vampire bat-like if you wanted to play with that as an idea. Amazon Rainforest, Deep Crimson, Mangrove Forest, and the Gambia River Basin. And I think Great Sandy Desert, that's really cool. That's going to be a nice template for the patterns. So we've got Rana. So let's just do a little comparison here. You can see it doesn't add anything on the body itself, except if you look at the little... I can't zoom any more than this. If you look at the little tufts of fur, little feathery tufts above the eyes, above the ears here, just look at them a little bit. You can see they're changing colour ever so slightly. Actually, more on these later ones, but on the Rana one, you can see it changes colour a little bit. So they do change colour along with, of course, the pattern on the wings. That's the major thing. And the tail a little bit as well, maybe. No. So we've got this blue and black for Rana. We've got a black and red for the Calco. Oh, wait. Yes! What a baller. That's really cool. Yeah, that black and red one's awesome. We've got Lithobates, green and blue. Pulcrana, which is sort of white and black with a little bit of blue in there. That's a really nice combination. Papyrana, a little bit of pink, some blue and some grey. And Pelophylax, black, green and blue. All really nice. Really interesting colour. You can see how these first three are slightly different from these latter three. That one in particular, but I think it blends in with the skin colour. No, I'm kind of in love with that pattern. I think that is a fantastic looking creature. And that is it. That is our Jehelopterus. So, yeah, I love the design. I love the coloration. I love the patterns. I love everything about it as a species. I wish there was a little bit more to it. I think it's weird that it can't be hunted. I hope that's something that gets added to the game. I love the little insect feeding animation, though. I think that's really cool. That it hunts this newly spawned individual, more detailed insect and kind of snaps at it and kind of rips it apart in its little tiny baby mouth. Yeah, let me know what you think about Jehelopterus in the comment section down below, and I will see you, lovely folks, very soon. Thanks for joining me. Cheers, much love as always. Throw me a like if you enjoyed the video, and remember to stick around for more content on the Feathered Species pack. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.